As I've been making these videos, I've done a number of them on the Zonophone company, so you should look at some of those to get some of the history. But I've really started to fall in love with Zonophone machines. They are so well made, they're so beautiful. At least the earlier ones interest me. Later, they weren't quite as good. The Zonophone company, I don't want to go into the history again and again, but this is a company that was founded by the person, Frank Seaman, who was the person who was marketing the Berliner Gramophone. And he was unhappy with the deal he had with Berliner and Eldridge Johnson, the manufacturer of the machines. So he decided to go against his contract and go out on his own and sell a machine. So these ones are the first machines that he made, or some of the first machines he made. They have an interesting plaque, which you'll see when I bring the camera in, but it says something interesting. It says, made expressly for the National Gramophone Corporation. So that is the company that he was using to sell Berliner gramophones in the early days. By the Universal Talking Machine Company of New York. That was the company he founded to make his new machines. So these are a couple of them. This is a B, and these ones are C's. There is an A and a D. And the Model C, the A and the D are actually the rarest. So let's start with the Model B. These were all machines that were made at a time when the most popular machine, or really the only machine going, was the Berliner trademark machine. And that was a machine like this, a small machine. You might have seen it with the barrel here and the spring loaded so that the crank was on the top. So that's why they're very similar to that style, but the cases are much nicer. I mean, look at these things. The woodwork is so good on these early Zonophones, and I've always find the finishes are really the best. So the manufacturing of this machine is beautiful. They're a little different than the Berliner. They don't have a wood tone arm and not a leather elbow. And as I said, when I bring you in, you'll see the difference. But this is a B. These both are C's in the two styles of cases that it came with. So these machines were manufactured from 1899 to 1901 in that era. And around 1903, Victor, once Eldridge Johnson got out from under the lawsuits with Frank Seaman and named his new company the Victor Talking Machine Company, he ended up actually buying this company. And he kept manufacturing these under the Zonophone name. And then eventually in around 1911, he decided to fold the company completely and just continue with the Victor Talking Machine Company. So let's come in and take a look at these early models. I should also mention that after the A, B, C, and D model, Zonophone started naming their machines. So they would see names like Parlor and Grand and Concert. Okay, so let's take a look at these machines. Okay, here's the Zonophone B. And you can see the brass elbow there instead of the leather elbow. The reproducer is a lot like the Berliner reproducer because that was the going technology at the time. The case is beautiful. Didn't I say the finishes are gorgeous? I mean, I don't think this camera does it justice, but it's really nice. Let me turn the machine around. We'll get a look at the ID plate. The cranks on these machines are also really pretty. And this one is this cute little crank on a tiny little machine. I really feel like I should put this in my collection. And there you can see it. Made expressly for the National Gramophone Corporation by the Universal Talking Machine Company, New York. It's a pretty machine, for sure. Let me take the turntable off because these bed plates are quite interesting. Okay, we see the bed plate. And this one's pretty plain. Some of them have writing on it. There's the serial number. I'll put the turntable back on. The Zonophone records, instead of being screwed down, I gotta fit that better, they have a little pin here that if the record starts slipping, it'll end up, here's one of the records, that pin will fit into that little spot there, and that will keep the record from slipping. Pretty smart design. Okay, let's take a look at the other two. So these are the Zonophone C's, and you can see this reproducer looks quite similar to the other one. Oh, something looks to be missing there. There's the case, again, another beautiful case when compared to the Berliner trademark, which was really plain case, just boxy corners. This one has a slightly different reproducer. These cranks are a bit bigger. And there's the ID plate on this one. Wow, it's in great shape. This horn's painted black, even the elbow was black. Similar to this one. Look at that finish. Huh? I think you're falling in love with them too, right? How could you not love this? If you're into gramophones, these are absolutely gorgeous. So this is an early Zonophone record. It's a little dirty. Let's look at the title. All right, let's give this a try. The brake's not working so well, so I'll just loosen that. I thought this machine sounded great. I mean, it was, in this room, really quite loud. And that has a lot to do with the reproducer. This has probably been rebuilt in the last few years. And so that makes a big difference. But you can imagine when this was new, it would have been that loud. And I love this machine. It's just, I mean, all three of these are really nice. I'm going to do some videos on some of the later Zonophones. And you're going to see some of them are nice, but they're nothing like the quality of these ones, I think, in my opinion. Anyway, why don't you check them out?